Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about XinFin Network, aka XDC. So let's just dive in. So first and foremost, the ITFA. So the ITFA is working with the TFDI, the DNI. Like, these are all organizations that come together and they are all collaborating on this entire major innovation around trade finance. And that is to digitize, tokenize, and liquefy the trade finance asset class. Now, initially, the trade finance asset class is worth $19 trillion. There is a $5 trillion gap here. And it's only continuing to rise and rise and rise in value because this is a huge gap, and it needs to be filled. And the technology leaders around this, it's going to take a lot of collaboration, but there's a ton of money tied up here. I mean, it's a $19 trillion asset class, and there's a $5 trillion gap here. So when we look at that, and we look at all of the members that are tied to this, I do think that there's a lot of money to be made if you can get behind the right technology. Now, XDC, to me, is a significant puzzle piece in putting this entire puzzle together. We do see, this is from the ITFA. This is their announcement. I'm sure that all of you are aware of this announcement. XDC was the first blockchain company to join the global TFDI. Mind you, the members of the TFDI are major global financial institutions and leading service providers. These are from all around the world and some of the largest banks out there. And we do see that these are major names that are recognizing the vital role blockchain will play in shaping the future of the trade finance sector, which has already been successfully implemented in other areas of finance. So if we look at this, as we look at what's happening around this space, there's a significant role to play for blockchain technology and a lot of these technology leaders around trade finance. They even do say, trade finance is a compelling asset class for institutional investors. This is from the ICC Secretary General. Making trade finance more accessible for non-bank investors is of paramount importance if we are going to drive the economic recovery from COVID and fill the USD $3 to $5 trillion SME finance gap. Innovative technology-driven solutions like the TFDI are a critical part of the solution to providing more liquidity into the market. And we do see emerging technologies such as DLT are being promoted as a way to create smart contracts computer programs which run automatically in whole or in part without the need for human intervention. Smart contracts are expected to increase efficiency and certainty in business and reduce the need for contracting parties to have to trust each other. The trust resides instead in the code. To ensure that the jurisdiction of England and Wales remains a competitive choice for business, there is a compelling case for reviewing the current legal framework in England and Wales to ensure that it facilitates the use of smart contracts. And we do see the XDC network was named one of the leaders around this, and it has been selected to join the TFDI. And this is from Andre Kasserman, by the way. It was selected to join by Andre Kasserman, who was working at Swift for 20 years. I don't think people realize how big of a deal this is. And by the way, this is enabling them to bridge the $19 trillion trade finance asset class. But you see, we welcome XinFin's XDC network to the TFDI as this enables us to bridge the $19 trillion trade finance asset class with any type of funder through tokenization and digital assets. And this is why XinFin is the key to it all. That's why when we do see announcements like this one with Swift, where we do see, did you know that most global trade is still paper-based? We're working to change that. Our innovative new interoperability trials in collaboration with eDocs Online and CargoX, which by the way, we've talked about CargoX in the past, hope to accelerate the adoption of digital trade and connect digital islands. Learn more about the benefits of connecting electronic bills of lading, EBL, platforms and moving towards a fully digital trade economy here. What do you see? We are exploring how our network could play a role in connecting the different players and platforms together, aiming to speed up document exchange while reducing cost, automating processes, and improving security. I want you guys to understand how big of a deal this is. Also, over here, we do see from ISO 20022, let's do it over on Twitter. They did respond to this and they actually quoted this image here. I just want to give them some props for this because I will be utilizing this image, but we do see tokenizing trade documents to generate liquidity. Check this out. So here is the image itself. We do see examples of tokenization of trade documents, TradeFinix and TradeTech. These two are the big ones. TradeFinix enables bank and non-bank trade finance entities to transform their trade documents, i.e. bills of lading, invoices, into tokens which can be sold in secondary markets and generate liquidity. When you see these sales transactions are written into smart contracts based on XinFin blockchain. TradeTech, a technology provider for trade finance asset distribution, completed in September 2021 what it says is the world's first trade finance-based non-fungible token transaction. The trade finance NFT transaction was conducted on the Singapore-based XDC network operated by XinFin, and we do see trade finance assets were repackaged into NFTs using the network's blockchain technology. And then we do see down here, NFTs significantly shorten the settlement time, enhance traceability, and fractionalize investments, making it possible to tap into a larger investment base to create liquidity in the trade finance market. And I even said over on Twitter, like, if we go over here to my profile real quick, I said it's wild how XDC is so under the radar in the space. Trade finance will be digitized, tokenized, and will demand a great amount of liquidity. XinFin is the key player in all three areas, and it's a collaborative one as well, focused on the DNI, the TFDI, and the ITFA. When we go over here real quick to the World Trade, so I believe that this, let me go back to the top here. So this is from the World Trade Organization and also the Trade Finance Global. Trade Finance Global is also the one that wrote this talk about the $5 trillion the $5 trillion finance gap. And then over here, when we go back to XinFin, this was from November of 2020. Since then, a lot of things have changed, obviously, but it's still crucial to mention. So down here, we did see TradeFinix. So if we zoom in and scroll down a little bit, we do see TradeFinix can be described as a hybrid blockchain and network of networks. Underpinned by XinFin Network's XDC protocol, TradeFinix connects multiple platforms by operating as a blockchain agnostic middleware. They are already live with an agnostic integration for MSME originators. Remember, that's the gap here, the MSME finance gap. Connecting them with decentralized liquidity pools through the proprietary tokenization protocol for meeting MSME funding requirements. This is through XinFin. And we do see down here the globally reaching network operates as both permission and permissionless. Permissionless for public verification or permission for selective data sharing. This hybrid approach allows TradeFinix to provide its participating members with reporting features of accredited investors by their virtual assets net worth, as well as the ability to tokenize offline obligations from originators. And we do see the current participants. This is very interesting. Validus, Singapore MAS regulated. Anigio, you guys already probably know Anigio. Ramco, Singapore. ITFA, and also WOA. Pay network utility fees to gain access to the platform. In the future, TradeFinix plans to launch a liquidity aggregator service using on-chain tokens as well. And if we actually go over here real quick, so there's a few images that I do want to look at. One is this post from the ITFA. So the ITFA actually broke down a few major players around trade finance, digitization, and tokenization. Anigio is here, TradeStream, which if you guys don't know about TradeStream, I highly suggest you look into them because they are also a key player here. TradeTech, which we already know about. CargoX. CargoX is the big one. That's the one with Swift. And then XinFin. And then we also do see Swift down here itself. Now, with this, as we do look at XinFin's use case, check this out. This is where things get a little bit interesting. So an ITFA member with regulated entities in SG and UAE provides an advanced tokenization and liquidity sourcing platform in support of trade finance and stablecoins to bring retail and institutional liquidity to alternative lenders and traditional banks. XinFin is also based on hybrid blockchain technology. We do see both CargoX and XinFin leverage the power of hybrid blockchain technology for trade finance. The hybrid blockchain is distinguishable from the fact that it is not open to everyone, but still offers blockchain features such as integrity, transparency, and security. It combines the best of public and private data sharing and is particularly suited for highly regulated industries such as financial services. There are numerous benefits to using hybrid blockchain, like the speed of private blockchains combined with the security of public blockchains, The private blockchain is used to generate a hash of transactions, which is later verified using the public blockchain. And if we look at this, like the liquidity pools that XinFin will essentially create around trade finance is going to allow for that $3 to $5 trillion gap to be filled, as well as disrupt the $19 trillion asset class. XinFin is the key puzzle piece to all of this. And I believe that going forward, this is going to be very significant. Even if you look at ITFA and look under XinFin, you could see that this is providing that advanced tokenization and liquidity sourcing platform for this. This is huge. This is a big deal. And by the way, when you go over to TradeFinix has a lot of exposure to some very large names out there, like Corda, for example, Oracle, TradeShift, and even QuickBooks. But we do see under this, we do see about XDC liquidity. If you look into this, you could actually see XDC liquidity. Explore XDC as a protocol for instant global settlement and counterparty risk mitigation for trade finance. Under this, we do see XDC liquidity for trade finance. XDC protocol is a common standard digitization protocol for trade finance securitization. Within this, you do see the feature. The features prevent fraud through transparency, immediate counterparty risk mitigation. Trade securitization assets are held in central custody and settled via correspondent banking channels. The risk of central failures in global trade is increasing due to trade wars, political issues, etc. XDC protocol allows you to hold securitized trade finance assets or negotiable instruments in a fully tokenized digital form in your custody. They can then be transferred between financial institutions on a peer-to-peer network without any risk of centralized failure. The tokenized assets can be settled with digital fiat cash of choice. We all see them here. Issued on XinFin network or digital asset of the XinFin network XDC nodes on cloud or even a personal or company computer. Interoperability with major systems as well. Here you guys have all of them. And then part of the ITFA, the BFT, ICC, FinTech Community Proposal, whitelisted by regulators for trade finance digitization, tokenization, and settlement. And here you have that whitelisted. So, remember that whitelist around a lot of these major names like ADGM, for example. We've talked about them in the past. Qatar here, Japan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. These are all in process. I believe that these, I don't know if this has updated since, but there is a lot happening around regulations within trade finance, digitization, tokenization, and even settlement itself. I think that all of this is key for XinFin. I think that a lot of this is still in the process around that harmonized approach with MLATR, which we have been focused on for a while. And I think that once that does go into play, all of these will go pretty much live. But I also think that that will be a global push as well. And then they do mention XRP here. They are also talking about XDC within this for liquidity for trade finance. For the most part, they do discuss the fact that it's currently traded across 18 global markets. XDC has demonstrated the ability to be a liquid asset against multiple fiat currencies across different jurisdictions. Liquidity against fiat currencies enables instant settlement and mitigates counterparty risk. XDC was the second most liquid digital asset against Indonesian FX markets for IDR. XDC was the most liquid asset on IDEX, a decentralized exchange connected to Coinbase, US-based regulated digital asset exchange. XDC is building its liquidity against the USD, GBP, JPY, and also the AED. This will enable buyers, suppliers, or financiers in instant mitigation of counterparty risk by settling directly in XDC or any fiat currency through XDC. So this is big. What we are seeing here is XDC becoming that liquidity source for trade finance. We're also seeing this, like TradeFinix is a key player around all of this, but the overall platform here, like XinFin is a part of this entire platform for trade finance itself. I do think that what we are seeing right now is a major innovation around a lot of sectors. We're not just talking about trade finance. We're talking about cross-border payments. We're talking about tokenization of real estate and so many other major asset classes. All of this is ushering us into the new world, the digital world of finance, especially centered out on trade finance and so many other industries and sectors. Like, this is a big deal. And as we do look at XDC here, like, you could see how big of a role XinFin will play within trade finance. This is powered by the XDC protocol. See the originators over here, the SPV, regulated digital custodian, tokenized securitization, with TradeFinix. And then over here, we do see the funders, regulated digital custodian, again, tokenized securitization. This is their overall platform. And this is going to bridge that gap. But also, as we do look at XinFin itself, and if we look at a lot of what's happening around these specific industries, and we look at the goal of the ITFA as well, like they are choosing XinFin to bridge this $19 trillion trade finance asset class gap. Now, yes, like I said, this is a collaborative move. I think that all of these major players are tied to one another. Anigio, Cargo X, Contour. Contour is a big one with Corda. All of this is happening, and you know, whether or not you want to see it, whether or not you want to wait for it, that's totally fine. I'm not here to tell you, hey, like you need to wait on XDC. You need to wait on XDC. I believe that XDC will be a very significant player around trade finance, and I think that there's so much money here that I think XDC will make a lot of individuals wealthy that have the patience to wait for it. But I also think that trade finance is one of those asset classes that's extremely overlooked. The amount of money here is very large. The institutional grade adoption here is very large. We are seeing MLATR being adopted in. We are seeing a harmonized regulatory approach. And all of this is happening in real time. This has happened within the last, the last 3 years alone around XinFin has been very exciting to watch because so much has happened. And we have essentially seen, you know, the power of XDC, I shouldn't even say XDC, but XinFin, sourcing XDC, the power of that has been spotlighted by so many incredible names around trade finance, like the ICC, the World Trade Organization, and there's so many other ones as well. But it really is very interesting to see all of this coming together. I know that it's been a while. I know that it's taken time, and I know XDC isn't trading at, you know, $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $8, whatever, however, you know, much everyone has been, you know, screaming for so long. But you know, I do think that in time, if you have the patience, you will be rewarded. And I think that XDC is one of those incredible opportunities that will create a ton of wealth for those that are willing to wait. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join for Discord down in the description below. So you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night. If you guys are on this beautiful world, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.